I've been doing a lot of ad audits over the last several days, and there's one common thing that I see so many people doing prematurely, and that is assuming that their cost per lead for a webinar, for a challenge, is too high. Okay. Now I know a lot of gurus want to, puff their chest and be like, well, I'm getting my client a cost per lead of this, and I'm getting my, cost per lead magnet here. And so I want to give you guys a realistic look at what you can expect. And I'm going to show you how I reverse engineer a client's funnel, even if they have no data. And so how do I know whether their cost per lead is too high, whether I know that their application is too high, and all of the fun stuff. And so you can literally take what I'm about to show you and apply it no matter what type of funnel you have. Okay. And so I'm actually working on a client's funnel right now. And so I'm just going to actually share my screen right here. And so what I want to direct your attention to is right here. Okay. This particular client has a $10,000 program. Okay. So right here, I'm going to highlight this right here because this is where I want your eyeballs. Okay. This is where I want your eyeball right now. Okay. So now whenever we are starting, the basic KPI that I want to get overall is 2 times the return on ad spend. Okay. A lot of people have this non-realistic version of what this needs to look like. But guys, if you can get 2 times the return on ad spend with a basic funnel flow, that is good, because all of the retargeting, all of the nurturing, that's going to explode this, right? And so I just want to walk you through the basics, because so many people are turning off their campaigns way too soon, or they're turning them off when they actually could be very profitable. Okay. So this particular client has a live webinar. Okay. And so I want to walk you guys through realistic numbers of what this actually looks like. Okay. So follow me here. Okay. So in order to get 2 times the return on ad spend for a $10,000 product, we need to spend $5,000 to get a $10,000 sale. Okay. Most people, especially if you are a solopreneur like me and most of my clients, you can live with getting 2 times the return on ad spend, meaning you can spend $5,000 to acquire a customer for $10,000. Okay. Now, do we want to do better than that? Abso-freaking-lutely. But I want you guys to see a realistic flow. Now, the reason that I built my Discovery Call Accelerator is to literally get 30 to 40 times the return on ad spend, but that's for another video. This is a more kind of advanced version of the Discovery Call Accelerator whenever we are looking at a VSL webinar type front. Okay. So follow me here. Okay. This is the basic. This is not with any retargeting. This is not with any nurture. This is not with any email. This is just the base funnel. This is the minimum what we want to happen. Okay. So 2 times the return on ad spend. That means we're going to spend up to $5,000 to get a $10,000 sale. So we're going to be able to know, what should our application cost be? What should our cost per lead be? How long should we let a campaign run before cutting it off? I'm going to show you guys how to do all of that. And like I said, you can apply this to any type of funnel. I do this for challenge funnels. We do this for low ticket offer funnels. We start here. Okay. So one of the things that you do have to know, and this is something that can be validated through organic traffic, is what are your call numbers? Okay. My particular client has a show up rate about 75% and a close rate of 30%. If she is closing herself, she can get about 30%. If she has a closer, 20%. Okay. And so one of my other clients likes to measure the qualifying element too. So if we wanted to qualified apps, so we could actually add in an element. So let's say only 60% of the apps that we're getting are qualified, right? We want to work that into that. So what we're going to do is we're going to multiply 75% by 30% by 60, and that is going to give us the cost of what that app should be. I'm going to get out my calculator, because what we're going to do is we're actually going to add in the qualification. So I'm going to add in 60%. Okay. So what we're going to do, okay, is we are going to multiply 0.75 times 0.30 times 0.60. That's going to be 0.135. Okay. So that's the percent. Okay. 13.5%. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to multiply 0.135 times 5,000. So 0.135 times 5,000. That's going to give us a cost per app when we include the unqualified application. So we can spend up to $675 per application. Okay. Now, you don't have to add in the qualified apps, but you can see now we're accounting for people who are not qualified, not just the close rate or the show up rate. Okay. Now, so now our app goal is we want to spend $675 per application. If we can get $675 per application and these numbers that they've given me, the show up rate and the close rate and the qualified apps. Now, can we do better here? Absolutely. We might have an 80% show up rate. We might have a 40% close rate, and we might even have a 70% qualified rate, right? So this is how we're actually going to go through this entire funnel. Okay. So if you want, so let's actually back up. So let's say that you don't have any of these numbers. If you want to go by pretty much industry standards, you're going to get probably a 60% show up rate, a close rate of, let's go on the low end, 20% is what I recommend. And then your qualified apps, let's just say worst case scenario, 50% of your apps are trash, right? Then you would do 0.60 times 0.20 times 0.50, multiply it by your acquisition cost, and then you are left with 600 and, or whatever that number is. In this case, it's $675. Okay. So our app goal is $675. Okay. Now, industry standard is we want 10% of the people who are actually watching the webinar. Now, this is not 10% of all leads. This is 10% of the people who hit play on the webinar. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to take 675 or no, 675. So $675 times 10%. So 675 times 0.10 is $67.50. Okay. So we are willing to spend $67.50 for people to watch the webinar. Okay. A lot of people don't track this. I like to track it just to see how that number, like this is how much we're paying for someone to hit play on the webinar, right? Talk about bringing it down to earth, but this is the metric that really, really matters, right? This is how much we're willing to pay per lead. So what we're going to do, now keep in mind, only 40% of your leads are going to hit play on the webinar. Okay. So if we do $67.50 times 40%, okay, so $67.50 times 0.40 is $27. So in this client's case, we can spend $27 a lead and still be profitable at our 2 times the return on ad spend. This is the number that you need to know. So many people do not need to know this. They go by what experts are telling them, like they should be paying $10 a lead. If you turn this off at $10 a lead, you would be leaving money on the table. Okay. And so how you actually figure this out is you're testing each ad set at $10 a day. And this is my rule of thumb, is we run until 3 times the cost per lead. So we're going to run this ad set 27 times 3. So I'm going to run this ad set till I hit $81 and hope to get at least 1 lead. Okay. Now, do we want more? Absolutely. But this is, you need to run the ad set for $81 until you turn it off. Let's say you run $81 and it's not hitting this $27 KPI. Cool. Then you can turn it off. Okay. Now I recommend testing 5 ad sets at $10 a day. So that's $50 a day. Now you're going to want to make each ad set run to $81, not $81 total, each ad set to $81. Okay. So hopefully you guys got a lot of value out of this. I just wanted to like pop on here real quick while I was doing this for a client and just kind of show you guys realistic numbers of what you need to hit, because this is going to be different for everybody. I know experts will be like, you should be getting $5. Don't get FOMO over what experts are saying that they're bringing in leads for. You need to know the number you need to hit in order to be profitable. The way to do that is by reverse engineering the numbers, just like we did here. And again, you could do this per webinars, you could do this low ticket offers. We do this for every single type of funnel that comes across my desk so that my students know exactly the number that they need to hit in order to be profitable or in order to turn off that ad set. So I hope you guys got a lot of value out of this. I have nothing to sell you on today's video. I just hope that you enjoyed the value. Let me know in the comments below if you enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys